We've seen devastating flooding along Lake Ontario, but are other area lakes flooding as well? It's the subject of this week's Good Question with Pat Taney. Now, Pat, you're taking a look at Lake Erie?
Yeah, another Great Lake, which is nearby. No flooding there, and many want to know why that's the case since that lake has seen similar rainfall amounts. April, May, even into June, communities along Lake Ontario underwater.
For 17 years, it was paradise, and now it's becoming a nightmare.
To the west, Lake Erie levels also at record highs, but no flooding at all. Why do you think Lake Ontario has increased so much more? This is Keith Koralewski, chief of the Water Management Section for the Army Corps of Engineers based in Buffalo.
Lake Erie and Lake Ontario are definitely two different basins, so they react differently to the weather pattern.
Another big difference and problem for us, Lake Erie, in a sense, drains into Lake Ontario via the Niagara River, one of the so-called supplies.
Lake Erie is unregulated, so through the Niagara River comes into Lake Ontario.
And those supplies, along with the rainfall, are at record highs. Should we be looking at possibly regulating Lake Erie then?
I can't speak to that. I mean, certainly that would have to be an IJC matter, since it is international boundary waters.
Are you aware of any discussion to possibly control Lake Erie at this point?
No, I'm not.
If we did not have this flow coming in from Lake Erie, would we be still having these same problems we're seeing today?
Yes, again, I mean, Lake Erie supplies are above average, so that does contribute to Lake Ontario water levels, but the rainfall also, that are, the second highest and the highest ever in April and May. That certainly contributes to that.
Greecetown Supervisor Bill Rylick doesn't buy it. He says Plan 2014, which controls Lake Ontario water levels and went into effect this past January, is solely to blame.
They allowed the water to get higher earlier.
They being the governing body, the International Joint Commission. They simply, in your opinion, were not proactive at all.
Yeah, because I believe that they were looking at the new plan, which calls for higher levels for elongated periods of time.
But in your educated opinion, you don't think Plan 2014 is to blame here?
Levels would have been pretty much the same within, centimeters, regardless of whether it was the old plan or new plan.
So the debate here continues. No word how the IJC plans to act next year, specifically in the winter. Rylick, among others, hope they do not raise levels, concerned we could have a repeat of this year. If you have a good question, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, goodquestion@whec.com.